Think your automatic car is indestructible just because it's automatic? Hold that thought. These machines are tough, but they're not magic. In fact, most cars that die before 100,000 miles aren't destroyed by big accidents. They're ruined by tiny everyday habits that drivers don't even realize are harmful. Shocking, right? The truth is, your driving style today determines whether you'll still be cruising tomorrow or stuck paying for a massive repair bill. So buckle up, because we're about to break down the habits silently shaving years off your car's life, and I guarantee some of them will surprise you. Number 12. Shifting from drive to reverse, or vice versa, without stopping. Ever been in a hurry and thought, hey, I'll just flick it straight into reverse before the car fully stops? Big mistake. That little shortcut is one of the fastest ways to destroy an automatic transmission. See? When you shift gears while the car is still rolling, you're forcing the transmission to absorb all that momentum instead of the brakes. And guess what? Brakes are cheap. Pads cost maybe $150 to $300 per set. Transmissions? You're looking at $3,000 to $6,000 in repairs. Easy. The juicy detail here is that inside your transmission are delicate clutches and bands designed to handle smooth changes, not violent direction flips. Every time you pull this move, you're grinding down those components, even if you don't feel it right away. It's like asking your grandma to stop a runaway train. She's not built for that. So here's the reality. Saving those 2 seconds by skipping a complete stop isn't saving you time. It's draining your wallet and killing your car way before 100,000 miles. Next time you're tempted, just pause, let the car stop, and then shift. Trust me, your future self and your bank account will thank you. Number 11. Resting your hand on the gear lever constantly. Looks harmless, right? You're cruising along, one hand on the wheel, the other casually chilling on the gear lever like you're in a movie. But here's the twist. That cool driver habit is secretly chewing up your gearbox. Inside that shifter assembly are selector forks and mechanisms that keep gears aligned. When you rest your hand on it, even lightly, you're putting pressure on those components, creating extra wear they were never designed for. And no, this isn't just a myth. Mechanics constantly warn about this because over time, it leads to sloppy shifting, damaged synchronizers, and an eventual trip to the shop. How much are we talking? Easily $1,000 to $2,500 for gearbox-related repairs depending on the car, all because you wanted to look chill while driving. You might not even notice the damage until one day the lever feels loose or shifting gets sticky. By then, the damage is already done. The solution? Keep both hands on the wheel like you're supposed to. Not only does it save your gearbox, it makes you a safer driver. So ditch the movie star pose. It's costing you more than you think. Number 10. Riding the brakes downhill instead of engine braking. Picture this. You're going down a steep hill, foot glued to the brake pedal, thinking you're in control. But here's the shocking truth. Riding the brakes is one of the fastest ways to cook your braking system and shorten your car's life. Brakes work by creating friction, which generates heat. On a long downhill, constant pressure builds so much heat that brake pads glaze, rotors warp, and fluid boils. End result? Total brake fade. You press the pedal and nothing happens. Scary, right? And here's the painful part. Replacing warped rotors and pads can easily set you back $400 to $800, while overheated brake fluid could lead to total system failure, costing even more if it damages the ABS module. All this because you didn't use engine braking. Now, engine braking sounds complicated, but it's not. Simply shift into a lower gear before you start descending. Your engine naturally resists the motion, slowing the car without frying your brakes. It's literally free braking power that manufacturers designed your car to use. Plus, you'll have way better control of your speed, especially on winding or mountain roads. So next time you're facing a downhill stretch, don't be the driver smelling up the road with burning brakes. Use your gears wisely, and you'll save yourself a massive repair bill while keeping your car safe past 100,000 miles. Number 9. Ignoring regular transmission fluid changes. Here's a habit that kills more automatic cars than you'd expect: skipping transmission fluid changes. Most people religiously swap engine oil, but somehow forget the transmission has its own lifeblood. And make no mistake, fresh fluid is the difference between a silky smooth ride and a $5,000 nightmare repair. Transmission fluid does more than lubricate. It cools, cleans, and keeps the system's clutches and gears working without grinding. Over time, heat breaks it down, turning that once bright red fluid into a dark, dirty sludge. That sludge can't protect your transmission. Instead, it accelerates wear, clogs passages, and causes overheating. Ignore it long enough, and your gearbox starts slipping, jerking, or outright failing. Here's the money breakdown. A simple fluid change costs around $150 to $250, depending on your car. Compare that to the $3,000 to $6,000 price tag of a new transmission, and it's a no-brainer. Yet so many drivers roll the dice, thinking, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. By the time symptoms show, it's usually too late. An insider tip? Don't just rely on mileage intervals. If you drive in heavy traffic, tow loads, or live in hot climates, your fluid wears out faster. Check it regularly. It should be red, not brown or burnt smelling. A quick dipstick inspection could literally save your car's life. Bottom line, neglecting transmission fluid is silent but deadly. Stay on top of it, and your automatic will thank you by sailing past 100,000 miles without drama. Before we go on, drop a quick comment below, then hit subscribe and like this video so we can keep bringing you more car-saving tips. Number 8. Driving with low or old engine oil. If your car's engine had a heartbeat, engine oil would be its blood. And here's the wild truth. Running low or using old oil is like starving your engine of oxygen. It doesn't matter how new or fancy your automatic is. Without proper oil, the engine grinds itself into an early grave. Fresh oil keeps metal parts separated, reduces friction, and carries away heat. But once oil gets old, it thickens, collects dirt, and loses its protective edge. That means instead of gliding smoothly, your pistons, bearings, and camshafts start scratching against each other. Now here's the kicker. If your oil runs too low, there isn't even enough to circulate. That's how engines seize up, sometimes without warning. And the cost? An oil change might be $60 to $120, depending on synthetic or conventional. Compare that to an engine replacement bill of $4,000 to $7,000, or in luxury cars, north of $10,000. That tiny oil change light on your dashboard isn't a polite suggestion. It's a financial lifeline. The important detail most people miss? Even if you change oil on schedule, short trips and stop-and-go traffic can dirty it faster than expected. Always check your dipstick once a month. If the oil looks black, gritty, or smells burnt, don't wait. Swap it. Driving with old or low oil won't just kill your engine before 100,000 miles. It can destroy it in months. Ignore the myth that modern cars don't need frequent checks. They absolutely do. Treat oil as sacred, and your car will run like a champ well past 200K. Number 7. Revving the engine before it warms up. It feels cool, right? You hop into your car, twist the key or press start, and immediately give it a few hard revs just to hear that engine roar. But here's the brutal reality. Revving a cold engine is like sprinting without stretching, painful, damaging, and completely unnecessary. Engines are designed to run best at operating temperature. When cold, the oil is thick and sluggish, struggling to circulate through tiny passages and coat-moving parts. Revving too early means pistons, bearings, and valve trains are running almost naked, grinding away metal on metal before the oil can catch up. That microscopic wear builds up fast, shaving years off your engine's life. Here's the money hit. Revving cold can shorten the lifespan of your piston rings and cylinder walls, which eventually leads to oil burning, loss of compression, and full engine rebuilds. And trust me, those repairs are brutal. A rebuild will run $2,500 to $5,000, while a brand new engine could easily top $6,000 to $10,000. All because you couldn't wait 60 seconds. A giveaway insider trick? Let your car idle for about 30 to 60 seconds after startup, especially in colder weather. Drive gently for the first few miles. No flooring it, no high revs. That's enough time for the oil to thin out, circulate, and protect every moving part. Modern engines don't need long warm-ups, but they definitely need patience. So next time you're tempted to show off with a cold rev, remember, you're not impressing anyone. You're just writing your mechanic a fat paycheck. Let the engine warm up naturally, and it'll reward you with smooth performance for years beyond 100,000 miles. Number 6. Overloading the vehicle frequently. Think tossing just a little extra into your car won't hurt? Truth is, overloading your vehicle is one of the fastest ways to kill it before 100,000 miles. Cars aren't built like dump trucks. Every vehicle has a weight limit called the Gross Vehicle Weight Rating (GVWR). exceed it regularly, and you're asking your suspension, brakes, transmission, and even tires to carry a burden they were never designed for. Here's the part you shouldn't miss. An overloaded car doesn't just feel sluggish, it gets dangerously hot under the hood. Your transmission strains, clutches slip, and the cooling system works overtime. Tires wear unevenly and are more prone to blowouts at high speeds. That one mistake can cost you thousands, or worse, cause an accident. Money breakdown? Blown suspension repairs can run $1,500 to $3,000. A stressed transmission could mean $4,000 to $6,000. Even tires. Replacing a full set after a premature blowout costs $600 to $1,200. All because you couldn't say no to carrying an extra few hundred pounds of stuff. Here's the kicker. Damage from overloading doesn't happen overnight. It's slow and sneaky. One day you're fine, the next your car feels like it aged 10 years. If you haul often, invest in a vehicle designed for towing or carrying heavy loads. For regular cars, travel light, stick to the weight limit, and your car will reward you with a longer life. Number 5. Resting your foot on the brake pedal while driving. Seems harmless, right? Just letting your foot hover lightly on the brake pedal while cruising in traffic. But here's the truth. This habit is like leaving your brakes half on all the time, and it's a silent killer. Even the tiniest pressure creates unnecessary friction that wears down pads and rotors while also heating up the braking system. That constant drag also forces your engine and transmission to work harder just to maintain speed, lowering fuel efficiency and stressing the drivetrain. Imagine paying extra for gas, repairs, and replacement parts, all because you couldn't fully move your foot to the floor mat. Let's talk numbers. Replacing brake pads and rotors prematurely could cost $400 to $800. If the heat damages your calipers or ABS system, you're suddenly looking at $1,200 to $2,500. And that's not even counting the hit to your gas mileage. Drivers who habitually ride the brake often waste hundreds of dollars more in fuel every year. The juicy detail? Many drivers don't even realize they're doing it. It becomes second nature, especially in heavy traffic. The fix is simple. Practice keeping your right foot either fully on the accelerator or fully off, resting on the floor when you're not braking. Trust me, your car, your wallet, and your safety will thank you. Hold up, take a second to comment your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe and like before we move on. Number 4. Neglecting to service the cooling system. Engines hate heat more than anything else. And here's the truth. Neglecting your car's cooling system is like asking it to run a marathon in the desert without water. Coolant isn't just colored liquid. It's the lifeline that keeps temperatures stable, prevents metal from warping, and stops your transmission from frying under pressure. Over time, coolant breaks down and loses its ability to fight corrosion. Hoses crack, thermostats fail, and radiators clog. Ignore it long enough, and you'll face overheating, the nightmare that warps cylinder heads, blows head gaskets, and can even seize the engine. The repair bill? A blown head gasket can easily cost $1,500 to $3,000. A full engine replacement? Think $5,000 to $8,000, all because you didn't flush $150 worth of coolant on schedule. Modern cars often use the same radiator to cool both the engine and the transmission. Neglect it, and you're not only risking engine failure, but also cooking your gearbox, a $3,000 plus disaster. Checking your cooling system takes minutes. Look at your coolant level, check for leaks, and flush the system every 2 to 4 years, depending on manufacturer advice. Don't wait until you see steam spewing from the hood. It'll be too late. Treat the cooling system as priority maintenance, and your car will stay chill and strong long past 100,000 miles. Number 3. Driving with low fuel often. Think running on E is just a risky game of chicken with the gas station? Think again. Driving with low fuel isn't just inconvenient. It's one of the most damaging habits you can have. Here's a truth you should know. Your fuel pump sits inside the tank, and it relies on gasoline to stay cool and lubricated. Keep running on fumes, and that pump overheats, wears out, and eventually fails. And it's not cheap. Replacing a fuel pump typically costs $600 to $1,200. But that's not all. At the bottom of your gas tank lies sediment and impurities. When the fuel level is constantly low, that gunk gets sucked straight into the pump and fuel lines. Over time, it clogs injectors, reduces engine efficiency, and can even cause stalling. Suddenly, your quick stop for gas turns into an emergency tow and a fat repair bill. And here's another kicker. Low fuel means your engine works harder under load, especially in hot weather. Combine that with modern stop-and-go traffic, and you're stressing out vital components long before they should wear out. The fix? Simple. Never let your tank drop below a quarter full. Think of it as a savings plan. Spend a little more upfront on gas, and you'll save thousands in repairs. Skip the low fuel gamble, and your car will thank you by lasting years longer. Number 2, ignoring warning lights or unusual sounds. Let's be real. We've all done it. That little orange check engine light pops up, or your car makes a weird knock and you think, it's probably nothing. I'll deal with it later. But here's the raw truth. Ignoring those signals is like ignoring chest pain before a heart attack. Cars always warn you before disaster, but if you shrug it off, you'll pay big. That glowing dashboard isn't for decoration. A check engine light could mean something as simple as a loose gas cap, or it could mean your catalytic converter is on its last legs. And replacing that? Try $1,000 to $2,500. A transmission warning light? That's your gearbox begging for help before a $4,000 failure. Ignore it long enough, and what could have been a $100 sensor fix turns into a nightmare bill. Same goes for sounds. A squealing noise when braking means your pads are worn. Fix it early. $200 to $400. Ignore it, and you'll grind into rotors and calipers, paying $1,200 plus. That faint knocking under the hood could be worn bearings, which if left unchecked might destroy the entire engine. We're talking $5,000 to $8,000 down the drain. The juicy detail here is that cars are designed to self-diagnose. Modern vehicles have sensors everywhere, constantly checking performance. So when a warning light or odd sound shows up, that's not an optional suggestion. It's your car screaming, "Save me now before it's too late." Bottom line, listen to your car. Ignoring small alerts is the fastest way to turn affordable maintenance into catastrophic repairs. If you want your car to last past 100,000 miles, never ever tune out those warning signs. Number 1, using the wrong transmission fluid. Here's a habit so sneaky most drivers don't even think about it, but it's deadly. Using the wrong transmission fluid. You might think fluid is fluid, right? Nope. That's like saying any liquid can replace blood. Automatic transmissions are insanely picky about the fluid they run on, and using the wrong type is a shortcut to total destruction. Transmission fluid isn't just oil, it's a cocktail of detergents, friction modifiers, and cooling agents precisely engineered for your specific gearbox. Some cars need ATF plus 4, others need Dexron, Mercon, or even specialized CVT fluid. Mix them up, and you're basically pouring poison into your transmission. The results? Harsh shifting, slipping gears, overheating, and complete transmission failure. And once that happens, there's no turning back. A new transmission will cost anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000, depending on your car. Compare that to the $150 to $250 cost of a proper fluid change. Suddenly, cheap shortcuts don't feel cheap anymore. And the wild thing is, even topping off with the wrong fluid just once can cause irreversible damage. It might not show immediately, but over weeks or months, the wrong additives break down seals, eat away at clutch packs, and clog tiny fluid passages. Your transmission will slowly strangle itself from the inside out. Want your car to last? Always check your owner's manual. Don't trust generic fluids, don't assume universal means safe, and never cheap out with whatever's on sale at the parts store. Stick to what your car was designed for, and your transmission will reward you with hundreds of thousands of smooth shifting miles. At the end of the day, the right fluid is the difference between a car that dies before 100,000 miles and one that sails past 200,000. Don't gamble. Use the right lifeblood or pay the price. And there you have it. 12 habits that can quietly destroy your automatic car before it even hits 100,000 miles. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, don't keep it to yourself. Smash that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with friends so they can save their cars too.